I was gonna start complaining and being like, this angle is bad. But bro, this is the other choice. Honestly though, more realistic, if we're being honest. Way more realistic. But I can't, I can't go back on my treadmill where I normally go. I put you like, is that any better? A little bit. Not particularly better, you know that. So, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, right? And I feel weird in this angle, but it's fine. I'm on the treadmill, so. Oh, you guys thought I was gonna lie when I was like, oh, I'm gonna start taking care of myself? No. It's on interval. The setting it's on, I would not go this slow or on the basic. But I feel like once it jumps up, I'm gonna be like running and sweating and jumping and leaping, and I'm not gonna like that. But that's what happens, so you gotta deal. Anyway, I was beating myself up to holy hell for no reason. I was like, I really need to go work out because I wanted to start being decent, you know? I want to start moving more, taking care of myself. And I keep saying like, oh, I'm gonna start that, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get better at taking care of myself. And then I do like 2 or 3 times and I don't go back. And then every time I think about going back, I'm like, there's no point. Whoa, you guys are, everyone's going up. There's no point. Ugh. I'm the worst person in the world. The only thing I'm consistent at is inconsistency. I don't know how I do it, girl. The only thing you're consistent at is inconsistency because you choose to be that way. You sit there, you're like, I went to the gym once this month, so I can't go back again. No, there's no gun to your head. This is an empty gym. Really pop. Ooh, it's one room. And you're going at 3 in the morning. No one even knows you went in the first place. Why are you the way that you are? And also, like, you are no longer just punishing yourself. Like, when I was younger, the reason why 90% of the bad habits and bad lifestyle things that I have going on is because when I was younger, I went, well, it's just me, so it doesn't matter. Yes, it matters now. Because, yeah, I am just me still, right? But I'm not always going to be just me. My husband doesn't deserve a wife who can't do anything. He doesn't deserve the kind of health issues that come with a wife that doesn't do anything. Being fat is not cute. I don't like it. And I'm not even talking like appearance-wise. I don't want to go in the hospital at a young age. I don't want, well, firstly, I don't want hospital to medically abuse me and neglect me, which they would if I'm fat. Like, I've seen it before, they do it constantly. Anyway, but my husband doesn't deserve that kind of stress. My kids don't deserve a mom that can't do things. And sure, I don't have either of those things now, but I'm gonna have them eventually. And they don't deserve that. My family that I have now, my sister and my father, they don't deserve a daughter and a sister who can't do anything. They don't deserve that. It's no longer just, oh, I can do whatever I want because it's just me. It's just my body. I'm gonna have people that depend on me. I cannot fail them. And I'm already doing that. I am already failing them by my lack of consistency. I am already failing them. So I gotta fix it. Why would I go into a situation knowing my failures and never working on them? Frustrates me to no end. And I sit there and I think this all of myself and I'm like, you know what? You're so wise. You're right. Why would you do that? Oh my gosh. You're so smart. Yeah. And then not fix anything. And then not fix anything. So this is me trying to fix it. And then, like, moreover than that, because I'm hypercritical of everything I do, I'm like, oh, what I do doesn't really count. It doesn't count when I go to the gym if I'm not lifting weights if I'm not on the treadmill for at least 10 minutes, and then lifting weights for 30 minutes, and then back on the treadmill, and if I don't do my stretches, it doesn't count. Stop. Stop limiting yourself before you've even begun. Just to move, that is all you need to do right now. When you have moved, then you can set up some kind of program. But if you're never going to the gym, it doesn't matter if you have a program or not. You're going down now. Stop setting yourself up for failure by your own limitations. And I did the same exact thing for, I didn't make New Year's resolution goals. I guess technically I did, but they are goals. Oh, you're going back up now. They are goals that I was going to commit to, regardless of time. I just like to do it on neat dates. So, and it was already the new year. So I was like, these are my goals. But they're not New Year's resolution goals. They're just goals for my life. And one of them, they are scheduled for okay, how do I explain this? They are scheduled for the year so that they're trackable. But I don't want to stop doing them once next year starts. Does that make sense? Anyway, one of them was reading books. I want to read more books in my life. So as a measurable goal, I said, I want to read 24 books in 2026. That's 2 books a month. Not hard. I can do that. I used to read all the time, constantly. I would read non-stop in middle school and the beginning of high school, mostly middle school. I didn't have any friends then. I didn't have any life. And that's why I read so much. And then the older I got, the more busy I got, and I stopped reading. I got more into TikTok and more into YouTube. And so my free time was more scrolling. And that's also not good. I hated when my screen time was above 4 hours. It is now 9.5 almost every day. Not good. Stop. So it's I'm gonna read. And then almost immediately I set that goal. And I was like, but this doesn't count, and those don't count, short stories don't count, graphic novels don't count, manga doesn't count, smut books don't count, fantasy novels don't count, autobiographies. If you're gonna knock out every single book that you could read and it doesn't count, why did you set the goal? Stop overthinking and setting yourself up for failure just because you don't want to fail. If you fail by setting up so many parameters that you're gonna fail, it's a lot. How do I explain what I'm trying to say? I think you know what I'm trying to say, but let me reword. If you are so insistent that you cannot reach a goal, that you set so many parameters, that the only thing you can do is fail, don't set the goal in the first place. Quit self-sabotaging yourself. So I was like, you know what? You're right. Go to the gym, move. You don't even have to go to the gym. Walk the dog. And you know what? I started this video being like, I've only gone to the gym once this month, and it's the 22nd of the month, so, I don't know, guess it didn't matter. I walked my dog 2 miles. 4 times this month, which again, I know doesn't seem like much. 2 miles, not a lot. 4 days this month, not a lot. That's once a week. But it's more than I was doing before. Angering myself, stressing myself out. I will get better. One of the other things, this one's kind of harder to measure because it's not, it's something you can self-reflect on, but it's not equally measurable like reading books. It's not materialistic, so it's harder to measure. I want to be nicer, and I want to be slow to anger, and quick to listen. You guys know the Bible. It's me, the devil, from the Bible. It's cute that you're going to defeat me with the power of friendship. Anyway. At first, it was like, be quick to listen and slow to anger. I anger so fast. I listen so little. These things might as well be for decoration at this point, baby. The way I get upset and then shut down, I cannot be acting like that. I can't do it. I can't do that and live a good life. I can't do that and expect the people around me to put up with me. That's not a good character model. That's not a good character structure. And I was also, I was thinking about this earlier while I was on the drive because I had to go to Walmart earlier today. I was thinking, I really want to be a nice person, a kind person. And then in my head, I'm like, well, I am, I am a nice person. I'm a kind person. I take care of my friends. I love my friends. I go out of my way for the people I love. That Bible verse immediately in my head was like, you do things you love for your brothers, so do the Gentiles. What makes you better than them? You got me. You got me there. I do fear that you kind of ate me up there, God. Unfortunate. But yeah, that's one of the other things, is I want to be a kind person. I want to be slow to anger and quick to listen. And I want to read more books. And I want to lose some weight. I don't even think, obviously weight loss is going to happen. I'm a very fat woman. So if I'm going to move, work out, get healthier, get better, I'm gonna lose weight. That's what's gotta happen. But that's really not the goal, is not to lose weight as much as be healthy, which is so much harder as a goal. So much harder as a goal to be like, my goal is to actually be healthy. Because there's so many facets to that. I don't want to research vitamins. I don't want to worry about what I'm intaking calorie. If I just move more, I'll lose more weight. Bada bing, bada boom. That goal, check, check, complete. But since I gotta be healthy, I gotta know what I'm doing. Don't talk to me. Okay, talk to me. But, I slid right off the end there. So inconvenient. And the thing is that I do gotta know things. I gotta know what to eat, when to eat, when not to eat. Also, very difficult in the life I live right now. Since I am not a night owl. That's not the situation I'm in. That's not what I was going to say. I'm a nighttime worker. I work the night shift. I'm in 12-hour shifts for the rest of my existence until my father gets better. And it's kind of hard. Here's something. Also, my sister was telling me 2 years ago, she was like, God's telling me I need to work out and I need to work on my arms and my legs and I need to get stronger, which is weird because normally he's like, get healthy, not get strong. I was like, oh, crazy. I also feel like God's telling me to get strong. And now look at us. Both caretaking for our father, both having to be strong because we got to lift his whole body up and down and all around and twist around and flip around. And I've definitely gotten stronger through this situation, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually, everythingly. I've gotten stronger because the situation is stressful, and I hate the way sometimes I feel like God has to look at me and be like, stop being bipolar. Stop it. I feel like he wants to come down here and flick me in the forehead. Because I would get annoyed at myself. I do get annoyed at myself. But why last night, I got overwhelmed completely, blew my casket, couldn't handle it, had to wake my sister up and have her cover my shift after she had just gone to bed like 3 hours ago. Selfish of me. Absolutely freaked out, had to get sleep, couldn't handle it, was not okay. Literally crying, weeping, begging God, being like, I told you I can't handle this. I told you I can't do this, and you're not doing anything. Today I wake up, I'm like, oh, you know what, I may have been over-exaggerating. I may be fine. Thank you, God, for helping me wake up. Last night, just kill me if this is the life you're gonna give me this morning. Love you, God. Bipolar little girl. You gotta situate, you gotta fix yourself. I get you was overwhelmed. But how about we don't get mad at God when you are overwhelmed? God has bigger things on his plate, and that should not be the attitude you have with yourself and with your relationship with God. Actually, how about we rephrase that? God cares and loves about us. He also knows how much we can and cannot take, and we need to have faith and love and trust in God that he knows what he's doing, because you, me, are not God. And if you, me, were God, you, me, would be horrible. So, maybe calm down, have a moon pie, quit killing people. I hope any of this is being picked up. I've never used the mic on these headsets before. They're really cool though. These, they're pulling my hair. These, bam! That's the mic, or that's, is that the mic? Are you the mic? That's the headset. Peace. They come in this, which reminds me of like the 2000s, what was it, asthma or something like that? Asthma medication that came in a circular container just like this. Or one of those, again, early 2000s inventions where it had 4 sides that you'd pop off, kind of like this, but it would come off completely. And one side was like soap, and one side was a little water thing, and one side was a razor, and the other side was like a cloth or something, I don't know. And, pardon, and it was for shaking. Nothing moved again. Do you guys remember that? I don't know. You know what? Since it's 2026, everybody's getting really annoying, and like I can feel it crawling out of the woodwork. I can feel people about to post and be like, it's 2026, I don't remember anything, it's 2019. Girl, that's called being an adult. Your life got busy, you got busy. You stopped keeping track of things because you didn't have to write the date down every single day because you weren't in school anymore. Of course, time feels like it's running faster. You aren't forced to remember every single day, 8 times a day. When you were in high school, the point where everyone goes, wow, time has gone so fast since I was in high school or since I was in college. When you were in school, you had to write down top of every single paper, name, class subject, date, every single day. Every day. Of course, when you stopped having to do that, your brain went, okay, we don't need this memory. It doesn't have to happen right now. We can chill out. And some people are gonna be like, oh, but what about like shifts? When you go to work, you have to look at your shift sheet that tells you what days to come in and what days to stay home. You might look at that once a week when it comes out and you put it down like a calendar or something. But you are not writing down, you are not clocking into every shift and then writing top of the hour, every hour you're at work, what day it is. Maybe you are, I don't know what your job is, maybe you're a teacher and you have to do that. But the majority of the working class, that is not the situation. Majority of the working class, you go, you do your job, you come home. You go, you do your job, you come home. You go, you do your job, you come home. That's life. You don't go to one job, another job, another job, another job, another job, another job, another job, depending on how many classes you had that day, another job. If you had extracurriculars, another job, another job. And then if you had work on top of that, a real job, because you're not in high school anymore. And that is the workload and the mentality that we press on high schoolers in the American work system, or in the American school system. Bugs me when people are like, time flies so fast after high school. If you in high school didn't care, like I didn't, time wouldn't really change once you got out of high school. I don't know. That's my opinion. And I ain't saying I'm right. I'm just not saying I'm wrong. And sometimes those two things can happen at the same time, babes. I want, when I get home, firstly, I said I want in my brain autofill twisty treat, which is how you ended up in this position in the first place. In this position in the first place. Nah, you will not be getting twisty treat. I say that like I went and I got fast food every day. We were so broke we didn't have food. And you look at me and you're like, I don't believe that. You don't have to believe it. It's just fact. You don't have to believe all the facts. You'll just be stupid if you don't. But anyway, as I was saying, and when I get home, I want to look up modules for small D&D campaigns, like teeny. We're talking a few levels. Because I want to DM so badly. The situation is that my players would be my sister, one of my girls, Carissa, and my Canadian friend. None of them have schedules that work well. And I know you're looking at me and you're like, oh wow, a D&D that timing doesn't line up? Stop judging me. I will find a way to do it. I just have to get over this. I'm not going to do anything because I don't want to fail thing, which is crazy because I really don't have any issue failing. I fail all the time, constantly. I wake up every day and complete failure, and I'm like, but then anytime I set a goal that I want to complete, I'm like, how do I set myself up for failure? Grow up. Actually, I think that is a grown-up thing. I think a lot of grown-ups have that issue more than kids have that issue. I don't know. I gotta pee real bad. Okay, listen. Would you guys judge me if I left you and I went pee? I don't want this thing to shut off, though. That's the thing. I don't want this thing to shut off. And then all of the things that I'm doing, like all of my little statistics bar, to be gone. So I'll hold it like a mature woman. Also, I'm so, like, another thing that I do to self-sabotage myself, I'll wait and I'll be like, I'll just deal with that later. That issue, later. You latered yourself out of insurance, bitch. Pardon my French. You latered yourself out of insurance. You're gonna use that insurance to go to the doctor to get a checkup that you need. Now look at you. 24 years old, haven't had a period in 6 years, and you wasted your chance to go and get that checked up because you didn't want to do it then. You want to do it later. because you were scared that they were gonna tell you you were infertile. So what's the smart thing to do? Let's wait until there's no thing they can do to fix it. Let's wait, because you know, when it comes to your health, the best thing to do is wait. Not take care of yourself. That's for sure, you know? You only put on this life not to take care of yourself, but to die young. You idiot. Also, I feel like every single one of my videos are in this, like this specific, or maybe like this, atrocious angle. And y'all sometimes, I feel like a lot of y'all who are watching this might think like, she's not ugly. First of all, rude. Secondly, kind of fair. Thirdly, not fair at all. Rude, hurt my feelings. Not ugly. These angles are atrocious. And I am fat, so that's... But I ain't ugly. Also, you guys know, whoa. You guys know how some people, they're like, oh, if you have bad, like if you have a round face at this angle. No, I refuse. I saw somebody once on TikTok be like, you can tell they're really fat if this is all the angles on their dating profile. Very true. And since then, I always be trying to hit this angle on photos and stuff. Pretty much always. Not videos, because I do have to have both hands to do majority of things. But chicken specifically, when I take pictures, I try to do it like it would be if you were having an actual conversation with me. And does it make it a little bit harder to find a good picture? Yes. Do I look banging from the up angle? Yeah. Am I short so it doesn't really matter in the first place? Am I average height so it doesn't really matter in the first place? Yes. Most people are taller than me. I think I'm the shortest person in my friend group. Of every person that I'm friends with, like, we have a close relationship. I was gonna say intimate, but that makes it sound sexual. An intimate but not sexual relationship. They're taller than me by a good few inches. So the up angle really ain't so bad. It's not that unrealistic, you know what I mean? But if we're like sitting down to eat or something, like you would on a date, like you would when you're watching something. I'm so excited. Both of my girls, I try to have like a girls' day once a week, normally on Sunday. But both of my girls are coming instead of just one of them. I'm so excited. I love hanging out with them. I'm joking, I was spitting. Boy was peed. Pardon me. Also, apparently, I've got to work on my pelvic floor. That sounds gross. That sounds nasty. That's one of those things where it's like you have to research how to do that. And so I gotta do that. Because again, healthy is the goal, not losing weight. Healthy is the goal, not losing weight. Movement is the goal currently. And moving I will do. Reading is the goal currently, and I've already read 2.5, that's not half, 2.5 books. One of them was a graphic novel, and I was like, that doesn't count. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. You read it, it counts. You read the instruction manual for a microwave, and it counts. It counts. I don't care what you're saying. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. I'm not listening, I don't care. It counts. I read a book that I was reading with my girl. One of the other ones, Haley. We read The Halfling, which I talked about in one of my other videos. Not a fave. She also took 8 years to get through, which made me feel really better. She had to get the audiobook to get through it, which made me feel so much better about my opinions on the book. So we finished that, and then I read the first Walking Dead graphic novel, and now I'm reading the second book of Rinsfield series. I don't actually know what the actual series is called. I think it's the Sorcery series. By Terry Pratchett. The first one was Color of Magic. I don't know what this one's called. I read The Color of Magic last year. And I love the way Terry Pratchett writes. I love it. I love it. But I was an audiobook last year. This year, it's like the actual book. It's on my phone, but the actual book. And it gets kind of hard to read. There's a lot of, like, it's so fun to read, but you've got to, like, introspectively understand, like, you have to be able to read the layers. And actually, I was reading the first few pages, and I was like, oh my gosh, this movie, this TV show is so good. Dad and Kitcher should watch this with me. It's a book. It's a book. Please. You're being a loser. So I'm reading that, and then my girl finished the Halfling book, so we picked another one, and the one we're reading now is Inheritance Games, which I have the physical copies of, but I'm going to read the online version for simplicity's sake, because when I'm helping my dad, it's easier to not have to move a book, and when I'm cooking, it's easier to not have the physical paper around. For my lifestyle, online books are better. Unfortunate because they're not my preferred way of reading, but whatever. We're reading it, and she is already on chapter 15, so I need to read. I have not started it because I've been reading my other book. I need to pick that book up and read. That's actually what I'm planning to do tonight. I need to read that. Because once we finish that one, we're going to try and finish the rest of the series. Because I was like, are you sure you want to subscribe to a series? Because this book series has 6 books in it. Which doesn't, like, Terry Pratchett's books has like 49 books in it. But I get that they're different universes. They're not exactly connected. It's like, it's less intimidating when you look at the breakdown of it. And I was like, you sure you want to subscribe to a series with me? Because it's a lot. Like, maybe you want to do like quick reads instead. And she was like, I'm down. I am reading the Zodiac Academy, which is like 15 or 16 books. So she's like, I'm not intimidated by a series. So I'm down with that. And if we get bored, we can read a little book in between and then go back to it. Genius. So hopefully it's good. And then another thing that I wanted to do this year, I wanted to start journaling every day. I have not journaled every day. I've maybe journaled 6 times this month. However, I feel like that's fine. That's really fine. I don't have a lot to talk about, and I don't want every single page to be like, my life sucks. I had an icy today. My life's great, you know? Like, I don't need all that. Like, each page. It's fine. You can just pick it up when you want to write and enjoy it. You don't gotta, just like I was saying earlier, you don't have to make so many parameters to your goals that the only option is failure. You can just do it and not worry. So that's what I'm doing, and not worrying, which is actually good, because sometimes when I get in the writing mood and I want to journal, I'll journal for like 3 or 4 pages, and my book only has like 316 pages or something like that. So it's not like I could get the whole year in there anyway, even if I went 1 page at a time. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And then my sister and I, this is kind of a goal, but not really. Like, I want to decorate our house, because I live at home, like in my childhood home. And I kept like seeing things, people like decorating their place. And in my head, I was like, oh wait, I can't wait till I grow up so I can do that with the place that I live. You can do that in the place you live, and you are grown up. You are a full-grown adult. And you can do that in the place that you live. So my sister and I have been coming up with like things to do, and we're tackling the main room first, which I feel like might be a lot because it's the biggest room in the house, obviously. But it's the kitchen and dining room. So thing is that we own the house, so we can do a lot more with it than we could if I lived in an apartment. So I need to realize that, put it in here. Because even before my dad was bedbound, he was like, listen, this house is gonna be yours one day. Like, I'm leaving it to you. Do with it what you will. Make it a place that you wanna live. But I didn't take that to heart until recently. And I was like, no, I can't. Like, this is where I live. I need to make it a place that I want to live in. And this needs to be like my place. I have to be able to express myself. As a grown person, expressing yourself and being creative and liking the place that you live is so important. Important. So I'm doing that. And we can play a little Pinterest board or look stuff up. It's gonna be cutesy, I think. Also, this is like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this year. So I'm looking at my butt. My butt looks great. Man, my butt looks great. Anyway, I don't want you guys to look at my butt. There's a window there that if I walk, if I go far enough back on the treadmill, I can see myself. Anyway, so I don't even remember what I was talking about. I was just looking at my butt, and I'm distracting myself now. Yeah, I don't remember. Oopsie. Anyway, I really can't particularly think of anything more to say. And I have been talking for 36 minutes. Oh, I was gonna say tattoo. I wanna get a tattoo and I wanna get piercings. I don't think that's gonna happen until my dad dies. I won't even lie to you guys. Like, the comments that he makes would make it enough not to get said tattoo and piercing. Just because I don't wanna deal with it. I don't wanna live with it. I don't want to. Not. Like, I have to see this man every day. He has to see me every day. He has he has full ability to control what he says, but he refuses to sometimes. Either because he thinks he's funny, or just because he wants to be a jerk. Kind of somewhere in between those two. And even though the tattoos that I want are beautiful in my opinion, they're not, like, I want to have like a spiral, smoky star plant thing. I'm describing it bad, but if you were in my head, you would see it. That would wrap up my leg and across my body a little bit. Like, you can look on Pinterest to kind of see what I'm talking about. Where I want this picture to continue up my body, and I think it would look gorgeous. And the piercings that I want aren't like super in your face. I guess they are because they're all facial, but I want to get my 2 noses done so that I can have that, I don't even know what they're called. Wire? String? Chain to go through it. I think those look beautiful. And I want my bottom lip pierced vertically because I think those are beautiful. I just think they're gorgeous and I think they look good on me. I don't want my tongue pierced, but I think that's more like the 16-year-old in me that's like, do this, and not like the illogical adult of me that's like, you're piercing a muscle. And you talk a lot. That's some constant movement on that piercing. So maybe don't pierce your muscle. Anyway, I want to do all that stuff. We'll see. Probably won't. Anyway, I have to pee so badly now. I'll talk to you guys later. In a different time, period, space. Ta-ta.